All right, so welcome back to the channel. And today we finally done it. Finally finished it up. I want to show it to you. Before I get to the dripper, so we're doing drip irrigation. The only difference between if it says drip and you see the little like troublers or the sprinkler little small heads, it's just a change out of heads. So when you see drippers, it's usually those little small drippers. That's what they call drip irrigation. But it's essentially the same thing. Here, I want you to know we are using a water filter. I didn't talk about that on the last video when I showed y'all the front yard. We do have this hooked up to a water filter because I want to see if the water filter is going to slow down the pressure. Somebody asked me about that. What if I put that water filter on my sprinkler system? Is that going to slow it down? I do notice that it does slow down the big sprinklers, right? It does take pressure off the big sprinklers. But with the drip system, to me, it's still letting some pressure or enough pressure get to the heads because they're kind of closed down a little bit. So I'll show you. This particular hose pipe is a smaller hose pipe. It does even have a hole in it. So that'll just show you the pressure when we get there. I'll start over here where we was actually doing the pruning and the trimming before the rain ran us inside. But what we'll do is we'll look for some heads, see what kind of water's coming out of them. Look at this one. This is that vortex head here. So you can just think in the middle of the summer, to me, that's going to be enough water. 20 minutes or so of that is going to saturate this part. And I actually put out drippers, me and Bells. We put them a little bit bigger for one reason is that we didn't want to use multiple drippers around the plant. But what we figured is it'll be easier for us to just take a dripper and move it to a different location. So that's why we left our line a little bit longer. So that way we can actually move it. Right now we're going to rain out though. See if we can get those ants to leave with a little water. So that was the vortex. Here is the tree we actually pruned a day or so ago. And you can see not much, but good enough pressure. We got about, I think I got like 25 or so trees out here. That's way more than enough water getting to that tree. I think we got up to 25 or so. And so what we're doing now, we don't need this because it just rained yesterday for like 24 hours. It rained all day. I think Christmas Eve, was it?
Yes.
Was it Christmas Eve or day before Christmas Eve? So what we're doing right now is we're just checking the heads, just making sure water's coming out. Like I said, we don't need a lot of water. I do like the fact that I am getting enough pressure to get some water to these heads, even with that filter, because that's one thing. If I got to take the filter off in order to get more pressure, then it's going to mess up the quality of water. If I can actually get enough pressure out here to water these and have the water filtered, that's a win. You can see I have a little bit not coming off of that one, but way more than enough water for what we're going to need. Now, some of these are just governed down. You just have to open them up. So you can do that too. If this is too much water, all you got to do is just make it a drip, right? Treble it down, I guess dial it down to whatever you want. But this is going to be way more than enough water for us. Like I said, and then if you don't want it too close, you can actually back your water off and make the roots come to the water. That's one good thing. You never want to water too close to your root ball. You do want to back it away some and just keep that area kind of moist around there. But every tree is going to benefit. You take this tree when it's fruiting and flowering, it needs, this is a drier part of the yard. It actually needs some water in order to hold that fruit. Your citrus needs to be able to hold the flowers so they can actually have time to get pollinated. These as well, I'm gonna try them again. You saw us. We actually pruned this one up as well with all of them, but now we got water to them. So today what we wanted to do was we wanted to come out and just check every dripper Sometimes you get them where when you put them on, they get stopped up or something. That's what I like about these heads. And I'll show you. Let's go over by this little blueberry bush. But I'm looking at all of these. I see water everywhere. Even in places where we had a tree here, we lost it. But I still want to utilize this space here in the future. So I just went ahead and I ran the dripper here, knowing that in the future I'm going to plant another tree. But look right here. This is what I wanted to show you. Having this irrigation is going to give you more time to do other gardening chores like this, like weeding. Now I don't have to worry about standing out here watering this tree. Now I can spend more of my time doing the other tasks, right? Just taking my time. If this thing gets stopped up, unlike your drippers where the little small heads, if you look at like a 2-gallon dripper, if you Google that, you'll see like a little circle saucer looking flying saucer thing. Oh, they're out. The kids are out playing a little bit. You can see them back there. These here, I think, don't really get stopped up. And if it does get stopped up, I think Belle showed you a while ago. Basically, you just take this off, let it, whatever trash is in it, the trash can just come out of it. And then you just put this back on top. So I think it's even better to get these, and then you can dial them all the way back down. A lot of people are worried about the water lossage with these by being just such an amazing amount of water over time. But to me, I just say you can dial it back. And it's way better than a sprinkler, because a sprinkler, if I had sprinklers on right now, like the ones I was getting, all of my grass will be wet. We don't want to water the grass. We want to get the water specifically to the actual tree that needs it. So this just makes it a whole lot easier for us. Like I said, now you can come in here, and I'll probably have to cut some of that out. I don't want to disturb the root system too close to the plant. A lot of that I'll have to cut out with some scissors. But it gives you time to do other things. So that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to come out here and just basically look over everything, look over every dripper. And we'll do that as the season starts as well. We'll come out, look at the drippers, make sure they're not stopped up, look at the placement, make sure an animal hasn't tore one off, and we'll replace it. Everything now, once you get everything installed, everything is maintenance after that. It's just looking for drips, looking for leaks, showing up your system, but everything is done. You can see the line that I showed you. We kind of got it just about covered up now. This is our main line. A little bit of spots that's uncovered, we got to recover, but for the most part, that's it. We're finished with the whole front yard that we're going to do. We got a section on the other side of the driveway we're not going to do probably until
next year?
2 years from now, probably.
Oh, yeah.
So we can, if something needs to be watered over there, it stays wet over there anyway. Our gray water actually goes out to that section. Our washing machine water goes out to that section. So it kind of stays moist enough. And we don't really have that many edibles over there now. We're not going to plant anything. I think that's it. About one more line in the high tunnel, a couple of more drippers I have to do today in the high tunnel. But for the most part, that's going to be it. We're going to be going into a new year, going into a new season, a new way of doing things. And why not start with that living water, right? And that's something for you all. If you can take a little bit of what I just said, remember that. Why not start with that living water? And you can Google what living water is. You'll find it. You'll find out. Start your year with that. We're starting our year with the living water. Thank you for watching. And as always, grow, grow, grow. Peace.